Well, now that it's spring, a lot of us appreciate the beauty of nature and we love to see wild creatures. But the DNR says it's up to us to make sure wildlife stay wild. It's almost always best to leave animals alone in their natural world, and that's why there's a new campaign about it. John Sinclair is a conservation warden with the DNR, and Diane Robinson is a biologist with the DNR. Nice to have both of you here. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
So this is kind of a new thing that you're kicking off. The timing is actually perfect for it, right? Because we're going to be out and about in nature, seeing more wildlife, right?
Yep, and a lot of the animals are actually having babies right now. You've got a lot of squirrels out there that have babies right now and a lot of rabbits out there that have babies right now. And
yeah, it's that time of year, and I was telling you guys during the commercial break a story about when I was young. I saw what looked to me like 5 or 6 baby rabbits abandoned by the mom. I sort of took them in, had a cage for them, fed them, and they all died, unfortunately. It was a painful lesson as a kid, and kind of realized the importance of leaving, because they look abandoned, and you can't always make that assumption, right?
And that's where we're trying to make this renewed push to talk to the public about you know, what animals really need and what issues they might have, or if they might be just fine on their own. And so we're trying to educate the public and give them some resources so that if they don't know, they can call us, they can check our website, or they can talk to a wildlife rehabilitator and get some answers before they put them in a shoebox or take them home or try to feed them or something. We'd like the public to reach out to us first.
Why do you think we so often make the mistake of getting involved when it's better to leave animals in their natural state, in their natural world?
A lot of people just want to help animals, and baby animals are cute. I mean, I'm the first one to admit that, and you see this animal and you just want to take care of it. And we're used to humans where you know, you need to always be with your mom if you're a human child, but animals aren't the same way, and they do relatively well on their own. Mom will leave them alone in a quiet, secluded area, and she'll come and check on them, and that's ultimately what happens. We just want to take care of them, but they're doing just fine.
Yeah, I think that's such an important point to say. Why do you think it's so important to have a campaign like this about keeping wildlife wild? Do you think there's a lot of misunderstanding or a lot of things that people don't get about it?
Well, I mean, I think you touched on it a few minutes ago. You know, especially with the weather getting nicer, there's more people out and about. There's animals starting their families, and they're more active as well. And so this time of year, we tend to see more activity, more human and wild animal interactions. And so we think that this campaign is kind of important to address that, because it's just that time of year. But on top of that, you know, as the population of Wisconsin expands and more people kind of live in that periphery just outside the city, but not quite in the country, there's more and more people coming in contact with wild animals, and some of them just don't know how to react to different situations. And so we want to, like I said, give them some resources so that they can handle it properly, or let us come out and deal with the animal and find it, you know, find it some help. So
you have a toll-free number that people can call. What kinds of questions do you take or field on your toll-free number from people who are out and about?
Well, that's the customer service hotline. That question is, or that phone number is actually any DNR question. So if you have a question about any kind of fishing information or licensing or things like that. But it's a great resource if you see a baby animal and you're not sure what to do with it, you're not sure if you should leave it alone or if you should do something with it. If you see a sick or injured animal, you call that hotline and they'll pass you along to a rehabilitator so that you can take care of that animal in the most efficient way possible.
So the Keep Wildlife Wild, people are going to see a lot of public service announcements coming up in the near future. What are you saying as part of the campaign? What's the message?
Well, I think our big message here is that oftentimes animals are just fine on their own. Wild animals are born in the wild. They've adapted to live in that environment, and just because we may not understand their lifestyle or their behaviors doesn't mean they aren't doing what's best for them. But we do also want the public to know that in some instances, wildlife do need our help. You know, they may be injured, they may have some illness, and that's why we do have a network of volunteer rehabilitators who can care for the wildlife, who are, you know, professionally trained and equipped, so that there are options. It's not that if an animal's hurt, you should just leave it there. We can find it help. So.
It's wonderful. I'm going to give people information, share some. Thank you both so much. First of all, if you'd like to learn more about the Keep Wildlife Wild campaign, go to themorningblend.com, click on today's today's segment, which is called Keep Wildlife Wild, and learn more about this. And you'll see a lot more in the coming weeks and months ahead. And that toll-free number that we mentioned, if you have any questions, if you come across wildlife and you have a concern, you can call 888-936-7463. That's a DNR number for you that you can call at any time. Thanks to both of you so much. Great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.